Hello, 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 everyone! Let's talk about more planets in our gender galaxy. Our sixth planet is vocab word, agender. Agender is someone who does not have a gender or is genderless. The A of agender literally means without. So, gender simply isn't there.
So, agender is like not having gender at all. Non-binary and genderqueer are like when they are not in the gender binary of male or female.
Yes. So these terms are all very, very similar in regards to not conforming to the stereotypes and norms of male and female. There are small details that are actually in the names that are very helpful in knowing what they mean. So that is a way to help distinguish it. Agender, literally meaning without gender, and non-binary, literally meaning not in the binary.
Oh, I get it.
Isn't it a good way to remember each term? Because while they're all extremely similar, it's important to recognize each one as its own because different people identify with different terms. So, another identity, or our seventh planet, is vocab word neutrois. Neutrois. That means gender neutral. Neutrois, neutral. Again, very similar meanings of not conforming to the binary.
Neutrois, neutral in gender.
Yep. So our eighth planet is vocab word third gender. This has many meanings to many different cultures, like Indian and indigenous cultures. In some with strong spiritual beliefs, third gender people have spiritual powers. How interesting is that? I suggest researching it because it's very fascinating to read about.
So third gender has more of a significance in other cultures. That's interesting.
Yeah, and I won't get into much detail on this, but I read how mainstream Western scholars totally misrepresented the real meaning of third gender due to lack of cultural understanding. Indigenous scholars pointed that out. So that is also something important to note. But let's go on to our ninth and final planet. Vocab word! Androgynous gender, or androgen, Androgyn. Andro meaning male and gyn meaning female. It means their gender identity is a blend of the binary, male and female, or not in the binary at all. It is similar to non-binary in that way, but again, it's important to distinguish the smaller parts of what makes them all different.
So if an androgen person is not within the binary at all, that's what makes them similar to non-binary. But it's important to learn both because in the end they're different and mean different things for different people who are of those gender identities.
Exactly. I love how open you are in learning all of these identities or planets. Let's do a recap of the last 4 planets. Agender and neutrois. Remember, their meanings are in the names.
Agender is without gender, and neutrois is gender neutral.
Good. Third gender?
So that one has to do with cultures other than our own, like indigenous and Indian cultures. It has spiritual significance in some cultures too. But wasn't there something having to do with our Western culture misrepresenting what third gender is?
Yeah, so from Western scholars' point of view, aka a white perspective, it was not represented correctly. Just something to note and know. Last one, androgen.
Androgen people are either in the binary or not in the binary.
You have an excellent memory. So, that is our gender galaxy, full of lots of different identities that are all valid to each person who carries them. And when it comes to gender and identity, something very important to also take into consideration are pronouns. Vocab word! Pronouns are words used to describe when talking about someone else. So like she, he, hers, his, him, her, they, theirs, them. Jackie, what are your pronouns?
She, her, and hers.
Awesome. So when talking about you, I'd say she threw the ball. Her dog is sleeping. So, when someone who is transitioning feels comfortable to do so, they can publicly change their assigned pronouns to whatever pronouns are really and truly theirs.
So, like, what would a non-binary person's pronouns be?
Remember they, them, theirs that I mentioned before? Those are typical pronouns of non-binary, genderqueer people. And there are many other pronouns, non-binary, genderqueer, intersex, agender, neutra, people use too. Again, all depending on the individual person.
Wow, that's really good. All people can be who they really are. Like, so how do I know what pronouns to use for certain people?
Excellent question. All you have to do is ask what their pronouns are. Easy as pie. Meeting someone for the first time is an excellent time to ask for their pronouns. And now that you know what pronouns are, you can also ask your friends and family what theirs are.
Is it really that big of a deal to tell people your pronouns?
It is a big deal. By using their pronouns, that means you have respect and acknowledge them for who they are. If someone used the wrong pronouns with you, I'm sure you wouldn't like it. It's the same exact thing. So, when you meet a new friend, you can say, "Hi, my name is Jackie, and my pronouns are she, her, and hers, and I am awesome and want to be your friend." And when I would introduce myself, I would say, "Hi, my name is Marissa, and my pronouns are she, her, and hers, and I am also totally awesome and want to be your friend."
Oh, got it. Yeah, I probably wouldn't like it if someone didn't use my correct pronouns.
Right, me neither. Want to recap that last part about pronouns for me?
Pronouns are like he and him and his, she, her, hers, and they, them, theirs. And you can tell people your pronouns so they know how to talk to you. And if you're transgender, non-binary, genderqueer, agender, gender fluid, and more, you can change your assigned pronouns by telling people what your pronouns are.
Exactly. You learned a lot today. And one last thing I want you and the audience to take away is how important it is to respect and acknowledge how all people are and how they identify. Now, don't go around asking people their identities, because some may not feel comfortable with coming out on that just yet. Instead, if you don't know how to refer to someone, aka their pronouns, just ask. There's no harm in asking for pronouns, because in the end, it will make everyone feel a bit more comfortable that you acknowledge them. Well, that sort of concludes our gender journey. I encourage you all to check out the visual of the gender galaxy as provided by Action Canada for Sexual Health and Rights in the description below. The sexuality galaxy is also included in that link, which we didn't discuss yet, but we will next week. So just ignore that for now and focus on the gender galaxy. On the first page, it has some excellent questions you can ask yourself and other kids and adults about where you think you fall in the galaxy. Let me know if you discover anything from it. Happy discovering! Thank you, Jackie, for learning and taking so much information in from these last 2 parts. See you next week!
Ooh, I'll show my family the link when I get home. Bye!